The pace car hangs a right onto pit road. It's Michael and it's Reynolds. The green flag flies and we are racing at the Glen.
Well, we got one
Truck
up. That's
scattering
McKinnon.
further back. McKinnon. Justin Michael, meanwhile, up front, loses the back end of that truck. Here comes Nathan Reynolds looking for the lead underneath of him as they work through the carousel.
That's actually Gavin Sanders.
Gavin Sanders, you're right.
Got around Reynolds, and Sanders has taken the lead over Justin Michael. They're coming into turn number 6.
Gavin Sanders through the left. Going to work through the final turn and down the front straightaway. Gavin Sanders is looking to lead the first lap here at Watkins Glen. Gavin Sanders just lagged out of the server. You're kidding me. I think he's gone. We'll wait to see if he reappears or if he's going to get a packet loss here. That's going to be devastating. Oh, somebody's around right in front of the leader. It's Ryan Dye. From the pole, didn't get to lead right away, but inherits the lead from Gavin Sanders and finishes it out strong. What a debut for Justin Michael. He is going to win the Glen 200K at the Glen. 1-for-1 for Justin Michael. And the battle for second. Poliski up over the curbs there in turn number 6 for the right-hander. Poliski is going to hang on as Reynolds slips and slides behind him. Poliski in second, Reynolds in third.
And he is burning the house down.
Why not? We saw a lot of slipping and sliding through the field last week and a lot of slipping away by the drivers up front. But this time around, there aren't a lot of places to run away and hide as we have arrived at the Monster Mile, virtual Dover International Speedway for the only exciting thing to do in Delaware 200. Round number 4 of the inaugural season of Truck 200 is right here on the home for good old-fashioned truckin', Turn 200. Howdy folks, it's Tommy Cook. My partner Matt Williamson will be along here on the other side of the break. Let's take a quick peek while we got you here at the top 10 in the point standings coming into round number 4 tonight, as Paul Ellison cut into the deficit quite a bit after notching his 3rd consecutive 5th place finish. Yes, 3 races and 3 5th place finishes for the 55 truck so far this season. Incredible. Andy Poliski is the other big mover here in the standings. He's now up into the top 5. But with some work to do still to catch his teammate, Steve Roman, who has been leading after every round thus far. Speaking of Roman and Poliski's team, Broke Guy Racing widened their margin in the team standings after Watkins Glen last week as well. They have a bit more of a comfortable lead here coming into Dover tonight. But about the time you get comfortable around Dover, that's going to be the time that Miles the Monster reaches out and grabs you. And 200 laps around the concrete, there are going to be plenty of opportunities to get swept up in some trouble tonight. Who will lay claim to Dover? We are just moments away from dropping the green flag for round number 4 of season number 1 of Truck 200. We'll have all the challenges we're expecting here tonight around the turn, as well as qualifying here for Truck 200 on Turn 200.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Road night I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
free them to fight back with more allies. Let's take this guy. The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
And now, our feature presentation. Alrighty, we are back live to the Monster Mile here on Turn 200, and it is Tommy Cook here with Monster Matt Williamson. Are you ready for some concrete carnage here tonight, partner?
Boy, you just come up with a new nickname for me every week, don't we? I was Classy Martini Matt last week. Now I'm Monster Matt this week. Welcome to the concrete jungle. And this place can definitely come up and grab you quickly, especially if there's a wreck in front of you. It is very hard to get through any of those. So hopefully we don't have too many incidents that induce something like that here tonight, but we will see very shortly.
Well, I don't think it's going to be hard to find trouble here tonight, especially since we have 32 trucks. Tentatively, that will be taking the grid here tonight. That is a lot of trucks at any track, let alone a place as claustrophobic as Dover. The sim is set to mostly cloudy. The sim is just kind of deciding whatever weather pattern it really wants at this point. So what are the track conditions looking like at this point in time, and what are we kind of expecting as this race is going to roll along here tonight?
Yeah, well, right now we're looking at track conditions and a lot warmer than we usually see either here on Truck 200 or in the Venom Truck Series. Right now, that track temperature is at 102 degrees, which, to be fair, is not as warm as it was earlier during practice. It was up to 112 in practice earlier, so, it's cooled down a little bit. As always here in Truck 200, there are no fast repairs. I want to say the fuel window is going to be 70 to 75 laps probably, but depending on, we're expecting a few cautions. Depending on where those fall, we could see some different strategies here tonight. I would say maybe early pit stops around lap 50, something like that.
That doesn't seem too unreasonable. And speaking of unreasonable, the sim can be especially cruel sometimes to a particular driver or two. And one driver in particular was on the extreme end of that last week, and that is one Gavin Sanders, who led the most laps last week in the Glen 200K at the Glen, and did not get to come away with the victory, thanks in part to a disconnect. So we wanted to give Gavin a little bit of airtime here tonight and welcome him back into Booth 200. So how are you doing tonight?
So far, so good. This is definitely going to be a lot different than Watkins. I won't be walking away, most likely, anywhere near as well as that was going. But looking forward to it. It's going to be a long race, and hopefully I can stay alive to the end of it.
Did you think, or did you know that you had that one in the bag last week before whatever happened? And then what was kind of your immediate reaction to what happened there at the end?
Once we got halfway through the first stint, and I kind of saw where everybody's tires were going, it ended up. I felt pretty confident in it, and I was hopeful at least that I wouldn't make a mistake or anything freak would happen. But of course, It is what it is, and I guess my community internet service decided that they wanted to take a quick breather, just very timely. So that was a shame, but I mean, the first one for trucks will have to wait a little bit longer.
Matt, what do you got here for Gavin?
Well, hopefully it's not too much longer. That was very unfortunate. Tommy and I were quite disappointed that happened to you. But what are you looking forward to here tonight? We know, you have a little more time in the trucks now, feeling maybe a little bit better about the ovals than you did a few weeks ago, or still trying to kind of get your footing here?
I've spent a lot of time in the Xfinity and the old Cup car and the new Cup car, and never really got around to driving the truck. So I'm still learning the tire, still learning how to race these things on the ovals. Kind of it definitely feels like the front tires will be a challenge tonight, and just kind of managing that with maybe some mild aero complexities and stuff like that, just to kind of keep me on your toes. And I mean, Dover is literally a bull ring with not a whole lot of space and a whole lot of stuff that could go wrong. So I think just staying out of trouble tonight will be very, very important.
Well, we're going to send you all the best here after a couple of unfortunate runs with us thus far in Truck 200. So hopefully the luck will turn around here tonight. You and Dakota both are looking pretty sporty in practice and in qualifying right now. You just got bumped out of the top 10, but we know you've got the framework to get it done here tonight. So
yeah.
Best of luck to you here tonight.
Yeah. Buy Sunset Arctic. Oh, hey. Hold on. Team, please buy Echo Blade on Steam. is coming to the front.
There you go. Always exciting to watch work through the field. Gavin Sanders, thanks for the time, and best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
And also to mention, soon to be pleased by Echo Blade on console, as we mentioned last week. So I don't know when exactly that is happening, but I know that is supposed to be on the horizon.
Hopefully sooner rather than later, but that is tough work getting that all turned around. But the open wheel invasion is in full swing here on Truck 200. Christopher Kresge was the fastest in our unofficial practice session yesterday. Dakota DeMate and Gavin Sanders are both in the top 10 in practice today. Right now, Dakota DeMate, I believe, just clocked in P5 in our qualifying session on his second lap.
Yeah, actually, I think he was up to fourth, and then Justin Michael put in a better lap than he did, so it knocked Dakota back to fifth.
So a couple of the newcomers that we saw for the first time last week at Watkins Glen are reappearing towards the top of the leaderboard. Of course, Gavin Sanders was walking away with the win at Watkins Glen, but he did not walk away with the win at Watkins Glen. That was Justin Michael, who started his first race after scoring the pole and then ended up scoring the win as well. And so he is now following that up with a P3 provisional start right now. But one driver that we only got to see for 8 laps last week is Roland Holt. And he right now is on the provisional pole. Him and Nathan Reynolds, teammates for Full Send Inc., who will be one man up very soon, I believe. John Kay, it sounds like he is very close to being back on the track, not only with the Venom Truck Series, but here with Truck 200 as well. So,
yeah, it'll be good to have the homeless hero back with the homed. Oh goodness! Well, I think Roland Holt is going to be taking our poll here tonight. I don't think anybody's going to have time to get any qualifying laps in. If they wanted to, we have quite a few drivers that have elected not to. I'm assuming are still here. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 9 drivers that haven't taken a time. So
and 8 of those have skipped qualifying. Yes.
So trying to just stay away from that the concrete chaos, if you will.
All righty, here we go. It is the only exciting thing to do in Delaware 200 starting lineup. And they will roll off like this. In his second career start, it is first career pole for Roland Holt. And after his P3 finish last week in the Glen in his debut, Nathan Reynolds will start on the outside of the front row. I'm getting a little bit distracted here. Got to do one admin thing really quick. Here we go. Row number 2, Justin Michael, last week's winner, will start on the inside. Jeff Langston, who we've not seen since his unfortunate end there in Atlanta, will roll off in P4. The demigod Dakota DeMaine rolls off P5 after his 7th place finish last week in the Glen. Joe Yakes looking for a bounce back after a finish outside of the top 10. He rolls off in 6th. Points leader Steve Roman in P7 on the starting grid. Jacob Houston still hanging in the top 10 in points. He rolls off in 8th here tonight. A new number on the side of the truck for Will Salamone. He is in the 9th starting position in truck number 66 now. And new livery for Ryan Dye as well, repping Starry on that truck. He rolls off in 10th. Second in the points after 3 consecutive 5th place finishes, it's Paul Ellison in 11th. And our pre-race reporter of sorts, Gavin Sanders, will start to his outside, making up row number 6. Jeremy McKinnon, Andy Poliski, teammates there on row number 7. Christopher Kresge with Adam Cantwell to his outside on row number 8. On row number 9, it's Garrett Rainey on the inside and Johnny Nielsen, the Denmark Brazilian, on the outside. Luke Peterson making his debut here tonight. He will roll off in 19th. And Eric Brading to his outside. He chose the name for this race, so if you don't like it, blame him. He's rolling off in P20. TJ Bartell deep in the field here tonight, 21st. Dave Stinson, 22nd. Brantley Gainey and Kyle Dumick will roll off on row number 12. Brad Saxton, I don't believe, is here. Either that or he's going to be making a delayed start. He has the 25th starting spot. Kyle Zittel then 26th. I am not starting. So that will move Jeff Smith up to 27th. Troy Thomas in 28th. Michael Fish has an EOL. He's going to the back. Richard Hayes is back after his debut last week in Watkins Glen. Daniel Mooring and Hunter Leach make up your 32-truck starting grid here tonight. All righty, partner. A little bit of an update on the track conditions. Is it a little cooler? Is it a little warmer? What are we looking at here?
It's a little bit warmer. We were at 102 in qualifying, up to 105. Like I mentioned before, we saw it fluctuate all the way up to 112 at one point. So we're going to be above 100 and maybe into the teens as well. So it's going to be a pretty tough task here. You can really start slipping the tires early if you're not careful here on the concrete at the Monster Mile. So it's going to be a tall task, a monster task, if you will. And looking forward to seeing who's going to show up and show out and come out on top.
All righty, here we go. Teammates on the front row. It's Roland Holt, who will be leading the field to green with the Intimidator to his outside. Good start for Holt. He leads lap number 1.
On our first battle for position is Steve Roman and Joe Yakes, who have been side by side for the last lap and a half. Roman finally is able to clear, and now Will Salamone gets under the 87 of Yakes.
Falls back into line, though. Behind them, just a little bit, Sanders working the outside of Jeremy McKinnon. Canadians battling for position now. Sanders with some momentum going to the outside of Paul Ellison.
Sanders making the outside work kind of early. That's a little bit surprising, looking very quick here. Thought he was going to actually use that momentum, and he does. He's going to get around Ryan Dye in the 4 also. He is on the move right now.
Up front, Jeff Langston has just overtaken Justin Michael for the 3rd position. Dakota DeMaine is closing up to the tailgate of the 78 as well. But they all hold station up front as Roland Holt has led all 5 laps thus far. 196 to go.
We have McFreakin' Duncan, our good old pal
It's
Drew
back.
White in the chat. A little ribbon and tugging. I think we meant rubbing and tugging off of turn 4.
I think you're right.
pretty much single file throughout the field right now. Jeremy McKinnon just got through on Ryan Dye. That was for the 11th position.
Dakota DeMade is just ducked underneath of Justin Michael, and he is going to take that spot as well. So move Michael back to P5. He's now got Steve Vroman right behind him, but Vroman has backed it up just a little bit.
It looked like Vroman was going to try to dive to the inside of Michael. Michael shut the door. Whoa, and somebody's blown up.
Not sure who that is.
It's Kyle Zittel.
Oh, man, that's too bad.
I
did hear a call out over the radio that something was going on down the back straightaway, but it got cleared up pretty quickly.
I just saw smoke pouring out, and I didn't have any sort of an accident come up on my feed. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Might have to try to take a look back and see what happened at some point.
Here goes Dakota DeMade underneath of Jeff Langston now for third.
Boy, and you weren't kidding. The open wheel drivers are trying to take over the old stock car racing on the oval here at Dover, and doing a good job early. We saw Sanders pick up a lot of positions. Actually, McKinnon's gotten through on him now, it looks like, but Dakota DeMade showing a lot of speed here, looking to get through on Jeff Langston, who is one tough competitor.
Not going to get it done.
Yeah, DeMade is absolutely glued to that bottom right now. It seems like the top is able to carry some momentum. I thought Justin Michael was going to try to get through on DeMade as well.
Oh, and look how much time or how much momentum he loses there on the bottom. He's going to lose one spot. And now in a side-by-side battle with Steve Vroman as well. And Vroman is going to overtake him on the outside.
So DeMade's going to try to stick more to the middle rather than the bottom here. Try to carry the same momentum these other drivers are carrying. Joe Yakes is going to take a peek to the inside of the 82. Nothing doing quite yet. And Jeremy McKinnon is on the move now as well. He's gone through on Ryan Dye, Gavin Sanders, Will Salamone, and Andy Poliski now. And he is right behind that battle we were just looking at between DeMade and Yakes, and Jacob Houston in the 17 right there as well.
DeMade way up out of the groove, nudges into the wall there. Houston gives him plenty of space though. And DeMade keeps chugging along.
Try to see if he's got any damage on that right side. You can see it's crinkled a little bit. Man, he's way up against the wall there. Can't even see the side of his truck through the camera.
Nathan Reynolds is inching his way closer to the race leader. It'll be a battle amongst teammates if Reynolds is able to pull up.
Boy, it's really gotten stacked up back here just inside the top 10.
Sanders is about to insert himself into this mix as well with DeMade, Salamone, and Poliski. Oh, DeMade again, flirting with the outside wall.
And the two teammates, Reynolds and Holt, have they've got about a 1 second advantage over Jeff Langston in third. Reynolds does.
Holt told me that Tim and Nathan put a lot of time in on this setup, both together and separately. So it does not surprise me to see these two out front here in the early going. Lap number 18, 183 laps to go around Dover. They've certainly set the tone early here. Jeff Langston 1.2 seconds behind Holt.
And Jeremy McKinnon has picked up another spot. He's gotten through on Jacob Houston, up to 7th now. He is on the move early. It took him just a little bit to get going, but now up 6 positions.
Gavin Sanders has gotten through on Dakota DeMade. Ryan Dye is underneath of DeMade now.
Wow, DeMade is falling quickly. I guess maybe he's sliding those tires way more than he should be, maybe. Either that or he's saving for the end of this run.
He pushed pretty hard pretty early. There's every chance that he either used him up or that he realized he was pushing hard, and like you said, that he's just saving as much as possible now.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't push very long. I mean, it was only about a 5-lap period that it seemed like he pushed really hard, and then all of a sudden he dropped off. So maybe he's been working the outside a lot, maybe just trying to conserve a little bit here. He's dropped a lot of positions for just trying to conserve, though.
So we'll keep our eyes on him as he continues to slide backwards through the field here. Poliski is working underneath of Jacob Houston for the 8th position, and he gets the pass done. Now here goes Will Salamone underneath of the 17. Now he'll fall back in line.
And there's a big gap between 6th place and Joe Yakes and 7th place and Jeremy McKinnon. It was like 1.75 seconds. McKinnon's gotten into it just a little bit.
The gap between Yakes and McKinnon is about the gap between Reynolds and Langston.
Steve Roman brushes the wall just a tad there. Going into turn number 3. I don't want to jinx anything, but pretty quiet up to this
Please
point.
Don't. One incident with Kyle Zittel, unfortunately. He's going to have some lengthy repairs, it seems. He is still in the pits. He hasn't disconnected from the server. Dave Stinson has also fallen 2 laps down.
And Brad Saxton made it out onto the track. We didn't mention that, but
no, we did not.
He is only, I think, maybe 1 lap down. No, maybe he's on the lead lap here.
Nope, he is on the lead lap in 21st. So good work for Brad Saxton to make the grid here tonight. Start number 2 for him. Get a quiet and dismal Watkins Glen. Last week was the last truck running, 14 laps down when it was all said and done.
A little movement now right here, right outside of the top 10. Ryan Dye moving in on the 17 of Jacob Houston. Salamone in that 66 looking to follow suit as well. Salamone wasn't quite able to clear. That was pretty close. Looked like there might have been near contact between the 66 and the 17.
Houston's another driver that's on a little bit of a slide after some early promise here. And again, we won't know really until the end of this run whether he's saving or whether he is used up. Oh, TJ Bartell, if he didn't get into the wall, he got awfully close.
Well, according to my camera angle, the right rear looks like it's pretty intact still. Doesn't look like there's any warping or anything.
Look at Dave Stinson. He is on fresh tires. Look how much tire fall off there already is from fresh tires to just 30 lap old tires for these guys. He is picking them up and putting them down.
He is, and I don't know, maybe he had a problem, but the problem here is going to be you don't have that many tire sets, so
Nope.
Pitting on lap 30 or so, you're going to have to use at least one set for quite a while at some point. But you're right, Tommy. He is slinging through the field right now. Whoa, looked like there might have been a little contact up ahead. I don't know if that was maybe Steve Roman or maybe just behind there. Looks like maybe somebody else came in to pit the 18. And is the yellow 18 Kyle Dumig?
Yes.
Okay. I know he's technically listed as number 8, but he apologized to us that he got the wrong number on the paint scheme, so no harm, no foul. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, he's running his Venom truck here tonight. And he'll be running that truck tomorrow when they hit the streets of Long Beach. That is going to be a wild race. And that is going to be right here on turn 200. You're not going to want to miss that. 40 laps for the trucks at Long Beach. A wild one.
Tommy, we've been talking about tire fall off and different things, and Justin Michael's gone to the top spot. He's gone through on Reynolds and Roland Holt.
I was going to say, I just saw that he went up to P2 and that he was coming with a head of steam, and now he is up. Nathan Reynolds is about to drop underneath of Roland Holt now for the second position.
Well, now Reynolds feels like maybe being held up by his teammate just a little bit. He decides to take the reins of those two, not let Justin Michael get away from them too much.
So Holt leads the first 33 laps and then surrenders the lead to last week's winner, Justin Michael. We have not had a repeat winner yet in Truck 200. Is tonight going to be the night? We'll have to see.
Boy, you can see how much they're sliding up towards the wall on the exit. We're in the cockpit right now with the 51 of Reynolds, who's trying to chase down your leader, Justin Michael. You really want to get into the gas early to try to carry the momentum through the corner, but you also can't hammer it down too much, otherwise you're going to break loose. So it's certainly a fine line here, especially when you start getting later into the run like we are right now.
Oh, one truck just got moved up out of the groove. I don't think there was any contact. I think it was Roland Holt, actually. So Holt, I think maybe that was Dave Stinson behind him. And it was. So I think maybe a little bit of aero push there. Moved Holt up out of the way. And quite a bit of congestion right now around Nathan Reynolds. But it is getting cleared up.
He's gotten through a lot of it. It looks like the 93 might be on new tires here.
Yes.
That's Dave Stinson. We've mentioned him before. Oh, it looks like somebody got up into the wall. Not sure.
That's Richard Hayes, I believe.
It was the 28 of Hayes.
Had all the symptoms of that.
And Richard Hayes brings another good-looking truck to Truck 200 this week. He's going to drop down. Oh, I thought he was going to go for tires. He slides up the track here. Maybe just couldn't get slowed down like he wanted to and decided to hammer it back out onto the track. Big stack up here with these drivers.
Yeah, a couple of the drivers struggling with the handling of this setup, that is for sure. And it's especially hard if you make contact with the wall. It just, oh, and there's some big contact there. And he is just up in it at this point.
And all the while, there's a battle for position. This is actually for third between Joe Yates and Roland Holt around all of that chaos that we just saw. Those two were going at it at the same time.
So a few of these drivers that maybe have torched their tires and are looking for alternate routes, maybe looking at a 3-stop strategy here. I'd say that window opens up at about lap 50 to 60 probably. Fuel window 70 to 75 like you mentioned earlier, but 50 to 55 is the early pit window for a 3-stop strategy. So we'll see if we're going to have any takers here shortly on pit road. I wouldn't think anybody probably within the top 10 is going to be looking at that as of now.
No, I wouldn't think so. I would think that they're probably going to try to take it out to, I don't know, probably lap 65, 70, somewhere in there.
At the minimum.
Well, I mean, when you start talking about trying to break this race down into thirds, you know, that's right about where you want to be.
Yeah.
Now, if there is a caution at some point, that is going to change the strategy, of course. And the 72 of Daniel Morey's on new tires right now. He's going through on Nathan Reynolds. This is just to, well, not quite unlap himself yet. He's going to have to get by Justin Michael to do that. And that would be, I actually think Daniel Morey's multiple laps down at this point, maybe 4.
Yeah, Morey did hit pit road. And I think was already a lap down when he hit pit road, so. Ooh, one driver just got up and into the wall. I think it was Christopher Kresge down the back straightaway. He's holding it straight, though.
And Kyle Zittel is back out on the track. We just saw him up on the high side of this battle between Vroman Langston and Sanders. This is definitely the closest battle between multiple drivers that we have on the track right now. Sanders is going to go to the bottom on the number 1 of Langston. We'll see if he can make it stick, and he does. That was for the 6th position. So the tires have kind of cycled around. Fast on the bottom to begin with, and then it kind of moved more towards the middle of the track, and now it seems that Sanders right now is running the bottom and running a little bit quicker than those 2 that are right around him, so maybe the track has changed more, or I guess more the tire has changed a little bit more, and now we're back to running laps on the bottom maybe here.
Track temperature is the coolest it's been thus far at 101 degrees. As Daniel Morey is going to scoot past the race leader here and get one of his laps back. Quickly, a full field rundown for you, or at least a partial field rundown with 149 coming to 148 laps to go. Justin Michael leading Nathan Reynolds by 1.9 seconds. A few seconds further back as they're 3 wide in front of the race leader. I'm sure he loves that. Roland Holt in 3rd, Joe Yakes in 4th, Steve Roman rounds out your top 5, Gavin Sanders in 6th, Jeff Langston 7th, Poliski in 8th, Ryan Dye in 9th, TJ Bartell rounds out your top 10. Pit stops coming up soon-ish.
Michael handled that lap traffic pretty well. He's still got 2 in front of him here. Now, Morey just went around him not too long ago, but Morey has now used up his tire considerably and is not really driving away from him.
Hunter Leach has been on and off pit road.
Shout out to Michael Fish, who is back here tonight. He missed last week at the Glen. I think he was a little bit disappointed about that, but back in that 20 truck here at Dover. He's working on Dakota DeMade. That's for 15th.
we're happy to have Michael back. He's put up a couple of VODs up on his YouTube channel. Good old It's Mike Gaming.
One of them I was intensely interested in, that being that one being Talladega.
Yes.
Those of you that know, we had quite the interesting end of the race. He had a pretty good view of a little bit of an incident that happened right there towards the end. So if you haven't, you might want to take a look at it. And he was just as speechless as any of us were.
That is for sure. Gavin Sanders is going to work on Steve Roman for 5th into turn number 3. Sanders drops to the bottom. He's going to take the spot with ease. How about Gavin Sanders?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this once, but he has undeniably, incredibly downplayed his skill in stock cars. He made us seem like he was absolutely terrible in them, and that is certainly not the case, as we have some very, very decorated and good drivers here in Truck 200, and he is banging up there with the best of them.
Jacob Houston is going to be the first driver from the top 15 to hit pit road here. As, man, it can go from wide open spaces around this track to absolutely in the middle of a log jam in just an instant.
And now, there goes Sanders underneath the Yakes. He was able to clear, so Sanders up to 4th now.
Wow. Picking him up, putting him down.
Up 8 spots. And we know from our days of broadcasting and racing with Gavin that he knows how to manage his tires just as good as anybody. So here later in this run, that is definitely a factor here, as Sanders has picked up a few more positions in the later stages of this first stint.
I'm watching intently on all corners of the track here, trying to make sure that nothing is going to unfold around the Monster Mile in Dover. It can happen in a hurry and swallow up a lot of trucks when it does. But Justin Michael coming to lap number 64.
Tommy, did Dakota DeMade have a penalty of some sort? It looked like he went to the pits twice here.
I'm not sure.
Maybe not. He might have just gotten up and then back off again. My feed treats that a little poorly.
Kyle Dumick does have a black flag, though, unfortunately.
There's a nice little 3-truck battle going on here between Ryan Dye, TJ Bartel, and Andy Poliski. Bartel and Dye nearly got together there.
Dye almost got a piece of the wall. It was pretty close.
And then you have Langston, who is coming into the pits. Nearly hit the inside wall there. And Langston, I don't know, did something happen to him? He dropped back a lot of positions.
It must have. Troy Thomas picked up a black flag last time around when he came into the pit skid service. Ryan Dye is coming to pit road this time. Will Salamone is going to follow him in.
And
Roland Holt is pitting as well.
Oh, Dye hits the inside tire barrier going into pit lane, and Poliski makes contact with him.
Oh, my gosh.
And Poliski gets stuck behind the 4. Ryan Dye was just sitting there for a moment.
Man, that is a huge time loss for Poliski on top of the damage, but Man, big problems there for Ryan Dye. Meatball for Ryan Dye. Meatball for Will Salamone as well.
I wonder what happened to Salamone. I didn't
Yeah,
see
I
him
missed
come
that.
in. He came in right behind Poliski and Dye, but he was well behind them.
Justin Michael is coming to pit road.
We're going to watch these couple of pit stops for our roommate. Whoa, and he slides it down in there. I will tell you that this is a rough pit entrance. Oh, and he slides it on pit road. He was trying to get slowed down.
Man, everybody having a tough time on pit road here.
Tough conditions trying to get off the track with speed.
DJ Bartel just missed the pit entry as well. Nearly did the same thing that Ryan Dye did.
So Gavin Sanders is now your leader, and if he has a good pit stop here, he could come out the leader as well.
Seems like everybody around him has been having problems, other than maybe Nathan Reynolds. Ryan Dye's meatball flag is cleared, and so is Will Salamone, so that's good. They definitely lost time in the process, though.
We're now up to lap 71. I would think Sanders would be wanting to come in.
Absolutely.
I mean, within the next few laps. Now, if this thing goes green the whole time, he could be looking at a short green flag run on brand new tires a little bit later, and that could be what he's shooting for. But he hasn't come down yet. He passes pit road again. He's going to go lap 73 on the board now.
So he's going completely empty here on this tank. Not leaving a whole lot of room there for Jeff Langston. Now he's coming to pit road this time.
All right, let's
see if
see
he can
it.
get on.
Looks like it's good so far. And it is. It looked like he got slowed down. I don't think he's going to get a black flag here.
Nothing so far.
Vroman, Yakes also came down behind him. They had not pit yet either.
So Justin Michael at a turn number 4 is not the leader.
Currently, it looks like it's Paul
Ellison.
Ellison. But Paul Ellison is coming to the pits.
So is it still Gavin Sanders? Who is leading the race?
Currently, Brantley Gainey Jr., he is coming down pit road.
All right.
Jeremy McKinnon is going to take over the lead here, I think. But Paul Ellison's on his way out. He could get out in front of... Oh, I take that back. He's just coming into his box now. Boy, this is something. Tommy, it's Jeremy McKinnon.
Jeremy McKinnon. How about it?
He's out right in front of Nathan Reynolds right now. Now, I think McKinnon came in pretty early. Am I mistaken in that?
I'm honestly not sure. I kind of lost McKinnon in the shuffle a little bit, but he's, I don't know, he's been just kind of plodding along here. So,
well, I know for a fact, I think Nathan Reynolds came in after him, and Nathan Reynolds is going to go through on him here. So Reynolds in the 51 will retake the, well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, he had it for just a second, didn't he? He's going to take the lead here from McKinnon.
yes. Actually, no, I think this is his first time out front. I think he got leapfrogged and immediately took second away from Holt.
And now Justin Michael's gone through on McKinnon. And all of those drivers are together.
We just had a run-in, I think, between Jeff Smith and Ryan Dye on track. Dye did not seem too happy about it over the radio.
Tommy, what happened to Gavin Sanders?
I think he just the pit cycle the way it is, I think he was just out on old tires.
Oh, okay. My live timing and scoring had him 4 laps down for some reason. I've now refreshed it, and he is back. That just didn't make sense to me for a second.
No. Gavin Sanders is still with us. He's in 6th. He just was one of the last 3 drivers to pit under this pit cycle. So he's got the freshest rubber on the track, just as lost all of his positive track position.
Well, Tommy, now might be a good time after we have cycled through. I would like to take a look at the incident with Ryan Dye entering pit lane. I'm going to want to take a quick look at it here before Michael gets a chance to make a move on Reynolds. So
Absolutely.
This is the 4 of Ryan Dye when he was trying to get stopped coming into pit road, and he hits pit wall, and Poliski slams into him. And Poliski and Dye lost a ton of time because Dye ended up just sitting there for a second. So that's how difficult it has been. We saw the race leader, Justin Michael, get sideways. He slid into pit lane as well, but luckily did not hit anything. And now he's looking to take the lead back from the 51 of Nathan Reynolds, just about a truck and a half length back from the leader right now.
And Michael, I actually had a look underneath of Reynolds about a lap ago, and Reynolds shut the door on him.
And we know Justin Michael's a smart racer. He might be waiting this one out. If Reynolds is going to shut the door like that, he might be thinking, all right, we'll just kind of sit here behind him for a little while and let him wear his tires out, make his mistakes, and then we'll go through on him when it's a little bit easier maybe.
So we have lost Dave Stinson, and now Andy Poliski is elected to call it a night as well with his damage that he picked up. So only 3 retirees thus far out of a 32 truck field here tonight. So 29 drivers still running, 16 of them on the lead lap. As we work 85, 116 laps to go for Nathan Reynolds, who has found his way to the front here at Dover.
Tommy, if you would keep an eye on that lead, I'm going to go